Hey guys, so welcome to my presentation on why you aren't losing weight even if you are dieting and exercising. So I've done this with the fact that most of you will be starting your New Year's resolutions in a couple of days' time, trying to lose weight. And when you weigh yourself, like 2, 4, 6 weeks' time, think you've done really well and the scale says something differently. I don't want you to get downhearted. I want to explain why that might have happened. This came about off the back of a case studies weekend we actually did with Mac Nutrition Uni, who I'm studying with currently. We did a residential weekend back in December, and some really key points came out of this particular example. Just a quick warning, there is some maths involved, so you don't need to follow the maths or even understand the maths, you just need to kind of listen to the message behind the numbers. So without further ado, let's look at the lady in question. So it's a 42-year-old lady who lost 10 kilograms in 6 months, so she's currently 72 kilograms, 38% body fat. She's sedentary, but she does train 7 days a week, does 4 cardio sessions, 2 weights, and a hot yoga class. So first kind of key point you need to understand is that to lose weight, you have to have a calorie deficit. So CCO stands for calories in, calories out. Calories in comes in the form of all the food you eat and the stuff that you drink, and then your calories out is your metabolism, your activity, fidgeting, exercise. And as long as this arrow on this side, the calories out equation is bigger than this side, you'll lose weight. If it isn't, then if they're equal, you'll maintain, and if calories in is more, you'll gain weight. So let's look at the numbers for this lady. Her reported calories in was 7,395. Her energy expenditure was just short of 12,000, and exercise on top of that was about 1,500. So if we add these two up and subtract this number here, we get a deficit of 6,012. Over her 6-week dieting period, that's 36,000. And if we divide that by 7,700, then which is the number of kilograms, number of calories in a kilogram of fat, then we'd expect her to lose 4.7 kilograms over the 6 weeks. When she jumped on the scales, she actually only lost 0.35. So that's a common scenario. People diet, they train hard, and they jump on the scales and the weight's not budged. So I wanted to kind of go through in the next few slides the reasons why this lady didn't actually lose the 4.7 kilograms she expected to. First of all, on the calories outside of the equation, we have this thing called metabolic adaptation. So essentially, if your starting weight is 80 kilograms and you drop down to 70, then because you're lighter, your metabolism drops. What the metabolic adaptation says is, well, actually, it doesn't just drop to here, it actually drops another 10 to 20% because you used to be bigger and now you're smaller, your metabolism adapts because of that. And actually, that drop can be even up to kind of 40% for people who suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome and a couple other conditions. How do you know if it affects you? Well, unfortunately, you don't. But if you're dieting on a certain number of calories and you're not getting the results you expected, and you used to be big and now you're not as big, then maybe that's something that you're being affected by. For this lady who'd lost 10 kilograms, we're going to assume a 17% reduction in her metabolism. That means her metabolic rate drops from 12,000, we said before, to 9,905. On the calories inside of the equation, we have cheat meals. So cheat meals can be one meal, can be a cheat day or a cheat weekend for some people. But this lady actually only had 2 in the 6 weeks that she dieted for. Medium pizza and half a tub of Ben & Jerry's that she shared with her husband. That added 4,025 calories onto the inside of the equation. So not much, but still significant. So we add these back into our sums. You can see that now we've got this adapted energy expenditure without exercise of 9,905. We do the maths again, weekly deficit of just short of 4,000. The dieting deficit, taking off the cheat meals, is now 19,897. Divide that by 7,700, and it drops the weight loss, or the expected weight loss, down to 2.6 kilograms, but we're still way off what she actually lost. So there must be something else going on. Like, we've already accounted for adaptive metabolism and cheat meals. So what else? Misreporting food intake. So this is key. This misreporting food intake can happen because you're using an inaccurate calorie tracker like MyFitnessPal. So not all of it's not accurate. It varies quite a lot. It might be you're missing certain foods. But for this lady, it was something as simple as The chicken breast that she reported eating daily actually had skin on it, and she was tracking the non-skin calories. So that added an extra 119 calories in per day, which then equated to over 42 days, 7 weeks, because she ate it every single day, 5,000 calories. So let's do the maths again. Changed corrected food intake now, 8228. Let's add these up, take all this off, subtract it by 6, take off the cheat meals, divide by 7,700. Don't worry about the maths, I've done it for you. But shit. So after adding the misreporting in, changing the metabolism and taking off the cheat meals, we're still missing about 1.5 kilograms. So what else are we missing? So bear in mind, this lady weighed herself on week 1 and then weighed herself on week 6, and she lost 0.35. So what's happened to this lady? The missing 1.5 kilograms comes from menstrual related water retention. So she weighs herself on week 1. She's on 1 week of her cycle. Weighing herself on week 6 means she's halfway through her cycle. And as you females are well aware, that can mean massive differences in your weight through water retention. It isn't fat. But that's kind of the problem with scales, is it doesn't show you the entire picture. So the fact is, she actually did lose, I'm just going to flick back, 1.9 kilograms, which is £4 there or thereabouts. But on the scales, she only lost 0.35. So we've solved the problem. Going to move on to the kind of take homes, just to summarize everything that we spoke about, so I don't want to keep you too long. But losing weight is tough. This lady ate 1,000 calories a day, pretty much. She only had 2 cheat meals every day for 6 weeks. She ate 1,000 calories every day for 6 weeks, and she trained every single day. So, and she only lost, let's say, 2 kilograms of fat, but on the scales it was a different picture. So losing weight is tough. Relying purely on the scales can be misleading. There are other things we haven't mentioned today that can change the weight on the scales. So other reasons for water retention, how many carbohydrates you've eaten, so how many carbs you're storing in your body can change. So I don't want you to not weigh yourself, but don't just rely on the number on the scales, because it can fluctuate wildly. Take into account factors such as water retention and metabolic adaptation. So water we've mentioned, but if you're dieting on a certain number of calories and you don't get the kind of the predicted weight loss or fat loss, then, and you used to be bigger, but now you're smaller, there may be some metabolic adaptation that you need to take into account. Just drop the calories down a bit more or increase your calories out slightly more, and you should start to see the results. Could you be misreporting? Is your method inaccurate, or is there stuff that you're forgetting that you're consuming that could is it the Starbucks coffee, or is it the biscuits that you're eating at your desk without kind of you're just unconsciously or subconsciously just consuming those? Unconsciously, you're not unconscious when you do it, but you know what I mean. Last 2 take-home points. You don't have to track calories, but you do need a calorie deficit. So Joe Wicks has got a lot of flack in the last couple of days because he doesn't believe in it. He didn't say he doesn't believe in the calorie deficit. Without this calorie deficit, it is impossible to lose weight. That doesn't mean you need to track calories, but whatever method you choose needs to result in this. Adherence and consistency are your biggest friends. So find a diet that results in a calorie deficit that you can stick to consistently, and over time you will get the results. If you can't stick to it, it's not the right diet for you. So, okay, if you saw my post a couple of days ago, it doesn't matter if that's a ketogenic diet, a vegetarian diet, it's a high carb diet, it's even a Slim World or Weight Watchers or shake diet. It doesn't matter as long as it enables you to stick to that calorie deficit over a big enough period of time to get to the body fat or body weight that you set yourself. So guys, that's it from me. Good luck in the new year. If you enjoyed the video, please share it. Please pass it on to some friends that you think it might help them, because what I don't want for you guys is with kind of your new year motivation just to dwindle off, and by February some of this may have happened for you and you're back down to kind of the weight, you've not lost any weight. So please share. Guys, have a great new year, and I'll see you in 2018. Take care. See you soon.